Hey everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, and just how the living hell do Rockstar even attempt to top GTA 5? Like, in terms of sheer money made, the scope and scale of what they've built. The fact GTA 3 revolutionized that generation of consoles almost 20 years ago now, and they've kind of stopped making games the same way because GTA Online takes up all their time now. Whatever it turns into, we'll all be there, lapping up every pre-release screenshot, queuing at midnight, or counting the hours until we can go home from whatever job, class, thing we have to do that gets in the way on that day. Literally nobody will be able to resist finding out just how epic GTA 6 will inevitably be, and it's going to be a media event the likes of which entertainment history has never seen. Now, wishlists have been flooding in pretty much since GTA 5 landed all the way back in the black and white TV days of 2013. Fans of the series have enjoyed debating the ins and outs of the next chapter for almost 7 years now, but at least they are somewhat placated by Rockstar's dedication to GTA Online. GTA 6 then has a lot to live up to after 5 introduced multiple protagonists, first-person camera angles, a more detailed world than ever before, and scores of side activities, Easter eggs, references, and secrets still being chased down to this day. The studio's own Red Dead Redemption 2 has heightened expectations by delivering a sweeping western that was equally as affecting as it was brilliant. Can Grand Theft Auto steal back the spotlight and be something even greater? I mean, of course it can, totally, it's GTA, but only if certain wishlist dreams are met. I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and this is GTA 6 Wishlist, 10 biggest items we most want to see. Number 10, multiple locations. Look, Vice City is coming. It's been a long time since gamers whizzed down streets that look like Instagram filters where everyone's wearing a big old fancy pastel suit, and old-timers like me who can recall 2002's release can't wait. As enjoyable as returning to a reworked Vice City will be, it might not be enough to capitalize on the potential of GTA 6, the gaming and media event. So if they're feeling generous, Rockstar should put the appropriate care and attention into Vice City, then offer up an additional sandbox for us to mess around in. The idea of multiple locations has cropped up a handful of times across the last 7 years, and it's not too outlandish to suggest that Rockstar should make it happen. After all, they do need something to meaningfully iterate on the GTA formula for the next generation, so why not this? Rockstar do not need to go back in time to other series locales like San Andreas or Liberty City though. No, the developers could come up with a totally fresh location that would complement Vice's 80s soaked nostalgia brilliantly. I'll leave it up to you down in the comments which city you'd like to see though. Number 9, a modern setting with flashbacks. Think of this as an extension to that previous point. Assuming Rockstar do come up with something new and original for the next GTA's location, they would be wise to bask in the glory of what they've already achieved. Just a little bit. Fan service and nostalgia is popular in this generation of remakes, so it's maybe essential, especially considering something like Vice City's reputation. How to tick the boxes of the past and future simultaneously though? Set GTA 6 in modern times, but allow players the chance to experience flashbacks to the 70s, 80s, and 90s throughout the core story. That, if handled correctly and not as an excuse to pad things out with meaningless filler, would be a solid way to address GTA's decade-hopping approach in one game. It might also give Rockstar the chance to flex their retro muscles, at least gameplay-wise, like Nintendo and Hideo Kojima did in Mario Odyssey and Metal Gear Solid 4 respectively. The side-scrolling 8-bit stages or emulated PS1 levels popping up amongst all the new stuff were great reminders of how far each series had come. Why not try something similar in GTA 6? Number 8, Story Mode DLC. Rockstar continue to make a ton of cash from GTA Online, and there's no chance that that genie is going back in the lamp, considering we're so many years from launch now and the platform is still going strong. Modern AAA studios often demand some kind of continual income anyway, and Rockstar have found the gift that keeps on giving. Still, a few story expansions like those talked about for GTA 5 before they fizzled out into nothing wouldn't hurt. GTA 4's The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony were both great reasons to revisit 2008's Liberty City, adding gameplay mechanics requested by fans without affecting the core main game. Both also did a bang-up job of fleshing out minor characters and the city itself. It would be great to see that continue come GTA 6, because despite the success of both those packs that I just mentioned, GTA 5 didn't lean on DLC at all outside of heists and scores of add-ons for GTA Online. GTA 6 then should create a balance by offering up more story alongside multiplayer. Number 7, a lot more interior locations. If you're a lifelong GTA fan, you'll remember more interiors being the thing that we were looking forward to even before Vice City. Now, the modding community did work hard to build patches for GTA 5 that made more buildings accessible across the city. Whilst those were fun workarounds, they weren't easily available to more casual gamers who just want to pop a disc into their console and go wild. Unless you're on PC, you're just not going to see any of that stuff, and it kinda sucks. But Rockstar can more than fill in for modders in an official capacity. GTA has needed more emphasis on interiors for a good while now. Approximately 95% of the game's action takes place outdoors. That isn't exactly awful by any stretch, but going inside various houses, businesses, and other locations would be a great change of pace from the open world, especially when it comes to combat. The armed robbery mechanic from San Andreas could make another appearance, and Rockstar would do well to harness more of a lived-in feel to certain places, like they did with the Life Invader offices in GTA 5. All of this goes hand in hand with my next point. Number 6. House and base customization. Beyond saving your game, changing your character's clothes, and engaging in some distractions like watching TV, there's little to do in a given GTA safe house. It's always been kinda disappointing that players can't customize their own house, base, or pad to meet their personal tastes. At least unless you want to play GTA Online again. Imagine being able to take a trip to a digital IKEA and you're kinda halfway there. Now, Rockstar might want to learn a lesson or two from Skyrim's Hearthfire expansion or develop their own in-engine version of something like PlayStation Home. It would be pretty damn badass to choose a song from the game's soundtrack to welcome you home, shifting a wall to the side to reveal some secret gun rack, slowly upgrading all your apartment's furnishings so that there's a real change from beginning to end. All of this would give a more personal touch to each place and give us a reason to defend them against any potential attackers, story permitting. Number 5. Environmental destruction. As gaming has progressed as a medium, gamers have always seen the value in destroying every single thing in sight. Environmental destruction is just fun, and ripping chunks off a building with a rocket launcher or some mind powers like in Control is quite the experience. Such wild fantasies are exactly what makes GTA so satisfying. Being able to tear down select locations in the world, revisit them later, and see them being reconstructed would add to the atmosphere and the sense that GTA 6's cities are living, breathing metropolises. Destruction doesn't need to be wide-scale either. Various Red Faction games have scratched the itch by letting the player tear apart complex structures, and Control, like I said before, lets you fling bodies into everything from office equipment to concrete pillars. It was still more than enough to give gunfights a sense of flair, and technology has moved on so much that Rockstar would be able to do far more with these ideas. They could dip a toe in by incorporating environmental damage to several main storyline missions, or set up specific areas knowing that they can be torn apart. At the very least, Rockstar can put a little more Max Payne 3 in their next GTA. Number 4. Greater mission variety. Everyone knows the established GTA formula by now. Go here, fetch this, whack this dude, hack that computer, sneak in there, or mow down countless enemies in a vehicle shooting sequence. It's a proven formula, sure, but it's also become pretty damn recognizable and a little bit stale. The big challenge being laid down for Rockstar is to find new ways for players to progress through their typically well-written, occasionally slapstick-fueled stories. It's high time the series came up with something new to do that didn't fall into one of the fetch, kill, or steal quest categories. Rockstar are the geniuses. They perfected open-world gaming in 3D back with GTA 3, and they created a whole new way to experience immersive stories with Red Dead Redemption 2. Seeing better variety to the mission structure, or at least fewer fetching sprees, would be a very good place to start for GTA 6. Number 3. Red Dead Redemption 2's pacing. Now, Red Dead 2 was kinda hella slow. It was a hell of an experience, one that you were meant to enjoy incrementally rather than racing from location to location with gun in hand. Walking or cantering on your horse were both actively encouraged, so the game world's atmosphere would sink in, and major plot points were then spoon-fed sparingly rather than every 5 minutes. It's this measured pace that's exactly what GTA can learn. Now, hold on, nobody's saying that GTA 6 needs to outright copy Arthur Morgan's morning shave routine, but it could do with exercising a little restraint. In an era more concerned with madcap sprints to the finish so that gamers can get stuck into multiplayer, it would be refreshing as hell to see GTA favor a more laid-back feel in between the firefights. Red Dead Redemption 2 probably wasn't for everyone, and I do know a whole bunch of people who still haven't finished this lengthy cowboy game. Refining those slow burn animations, facial tech, and gunplay into a modern setting with snappier combat though, that could be incredible. Number 2. Better melee mechanics. Speaking of snappier combat, GTA has never been a series known for throwing hands. Try to square off with an attacker in GTA 5 and you'll either awkwardly bash them to a pulp by hammering some buttons, or end up wrestling with a jerky camera as your character punches thin air. This is kinda unacceptable when there's so much more that could be done. Minus San Andreas' special attack strings, for me the vast majority of all GTA's melee mechanics have kinda sucked, and they're woefully outdated next to other things players spend most of their time doing, like shooting or driving. Rockstar's protagonists don't need to become Batman from the Arkham series, but they do need to become more handy without guns. Wei Shen from Sleeping Dogs could be used as a template for one of those new characters, especially if they practice martial arts. His lock-on mechanics felt much less floaty than GTA's, and I totally looked forward to every fight. At the end of the day, Rockstar gave us The Warriors, one of the most fun melee-focused action games ever, and then never really took any of the things that they learned forward. And number 1, deeper RPG elements. Back when CJ was running around wondering why everyone he knew was either a backstabber or clinically insane, gamers had a whole bunch of fun turning him into a buff machine or an overweight hunk of burning love. San Andreas' RPG elements were admittedly limited, but they did change the way that we approach certain things, like the martial arts moves that you could assign that I mentioned before. After this though, Rockstar largely scrapped the thought of character progression, and made Nico Bellic an all-rounder before bringing back some of it for Michael, Trevor and Franklin in GTA 5. We had more stats for attributes like shooting, driving, flying and more, but it didn't feel like a meaningful evolution from San Andreas. Deeper RPG development and character customization options would give GTA 6 more of a personal touch without sacrificing the story. They could factor into how you approach missions or even which missions you can take. Being one of the most popular and beloved games and studios of all time, GTA 6 is going to be something astronomically hyped. These are just a handful of things I think would get somewhere towards that next step in open world gaming. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com. Please check out the WhatCulture Gaming Podcast, and I'll catch you soon.